Hello, Hamann Park people. We are waiting for Pat Hall to join us, so he'll be here momentarily. And we have the chat going, so hopefully that'll work okay. I want to share with you before we get started a little bit of information about the block captain concept that we've been talking about. There's a form right here that I'm sharing that if anyone is interested, you can go to this URL, and I will put this in the chat bar. And this URL is if you're, this form is if you're interested in being a block captain. So it's right there. And the idea is to build the community from the ground up, from the literally block by block, maybe 10, 20, however many houses are on a block, and really have the neighbors know each other and understand what the needs are and the ability to help maybe serve those needs, and then bubble those up to the bigger neighborhood association, and then finally through the city of San Jose. And there's Pat Hall. Pat, welcome to tonight's broadcast, the first ever in the Hamann Park Neighborhood Association. And it looks like Pat's microphone isn't quite there yet. Well, he's getting it. Working.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, so thank you for the invite.
Pat's a longtime board member of the Hamann Park Neighborhood Association, and he also volunteered to be a block captain. I was just talking about block captain, so thank you for doing that, Pat. And yes. One of the things, we had our first meeting of block captains today, and one of the things that struck me was we were talking about on our own little blocks what the needs might be, and you came up with a need for yourself and your business. And why don't you tell us first a little bit about your business, all about seniors? And I'll put a screen up while you're doing that.
Okay. Yeah. So my wife and I, and along with my son, we own 3 care homes in the Hamann Park area. And these are 6-bed elderly care homes, and we have 2 live-in staff at each of the homes. And currently, no one has any signs or symptoms of the coronavirus, and we'd like to keep it that way. Yeah, one of the biggest challenges that we're faced with right now is being able to keep our supplies in stock. Just this week, for the first time, we discovered. Ordinarily, we order all of our groceries online using Walmart to go. But suddenly this week, Walmart had no slots to reserve. We couldn't even pick up groceries at their store. So we had to go to multiple other stores just to buy our weekly supply of groceries.
And yeah, you were saying you felt like you looked like a hoarder, I guess, right? But you actually have a real need. You have 18 beds or something of people who need this stuff, right?
Yeah, we have 18 beds. So, we have a lot of people to feed, plus our staff live there. So they, we get groceries for them too. And so, yeah, it's been a challenge, but we've been able to so far get just about everything we need. It took us a little while to find paper towels and toilet paper. Right now, there's two or three things that we haven't been able to come up with a solution for. Number one is masks. We have just a very limited supply of masks left, and hand sanitizers. We didn't see this one coming, so we just had our normal supply, but now we really want everybody to use hand sanitizer after every operation, when nurses come in or caregivers. We want everyone to use the sanitizer. So that's why our needs have grown so much. So masks, hand sanitizers, and then wipes. Found out today that Windex, if you leave it on the surface for at least 30 seconds and you get the right kind of Windex, it kind of works the same way as the Clorox style wipes.
So Windex, the right kind of Windex. What is the right kind of Windex?
Well, my son knows all that,
Oh,
but I think it has ammonia in it, and it might even have some kind of alcohol, but maybe it's the ammonia that is the best agent for killing this particular COVID-19.
so keep it on for 30 seconds. So um, you also were recently spotlighted in the San Jose Spotlight, which is kind of cool, talking about the challenges that you and others are facing helping senior citizens right now.
Yeah, they reached out to us to do a little interview, and so I see you put the link up, and we pretty much said just about everything I just now said. The one other challenge that we have, and this was over a week ago, actually now about a week and a half ago, we put out a notice to our families that we would prefer they don't come to visit, and we have the ability to do video hookups. Most of the sons or daughters of our family members are kind of in my demographic. They're, I'm 68 years old, and so they're in that same age group. Some of them are not necessarily technologically literate for doing video hookups. Fortunately, my son is, so he can help people with Apple or tablet devices or whatever, Android, and really help them to be able to connect. And for those families who have done it, the seniors are extremely gratified to have made that connection. But we just aren't getting enough families to try it, and instead they're just trying to come in and see their parent regardless. So far, we don't have any legal grounds to stop them. It's just we don't want to have anyone vector in their particular germs that they've possibly been exposed to. They may not even know that they're carrying anything.
Yeah, I think that's kind of an important message to make sure we leave people with, is the idea of, how important it is to stay isolated. But tools like we're using here, this is the 8x8. Of course, there's Zoom. There's so many others, GoToMeeting, whatever, or just things like FaceTime. I put FaceTime on my mom's phone yesterday, and she was just thrilled to call, people, right? Yeah, so it's a whole game changer. And so this was an experiment that we did today. We met earlier, the block captains, and we're going to try to do this more. It works out really well, impromptu meetings like this. And in this case, we are streaming it to YouTube, so people can see it live, or they can watch it in a recording, and particularly with sports programming kind of put on the hiatus. Maybe this will be appealing.
Yeah, well, we're sort of having to kind of go back to the old days of connecting with our neighbors in a way that we maybe haven't, because our lives are so busy. So yeah, and for us to have our neighborhood association, and to be able to kind of keep an eye on one another, there's definitely some positives coming out of this, I think.
Exactly. Well, Pat, it's always great seeing you and talking to you, of course. So thanks for all your efforts with your business, helping people, but also with Hamann Park. So we will see you soon, Pat, and then we'll try this again, Hamann Park, if you guys are okay with it. Thanks, Pat.
Okay. Thank you, Cam.
And take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.